Welcome, this is SAFECHAIN. In today's topic, we're talking about post-separation, coercion, and litigation power imbalance, a procedural fairness failure. This is a very important topic when litigation power imbalance and procedural fairness are not what they are meant to be. A statutory analysis of post-separation abuse, participation impairment, Equality Act duties, and the risk of empowering financial asymmetry in family proceedings. Post-separation abuse, litigation coercion, participation impairment, procedural fairness in UK courts, Equality Act, reasonable adjustments, human rights, Article 6, Domestic Abuse, Act 2021, Matrimonial Causes Act 1973. Today we examine a recurring structural issue within adversarial proceedings where financial asymmetry and unrecognized participation impairment combine to reduce procedural unfairness. This is not a personal account, it is a compliance analysis. The structural problem: post-separation, coercion. Understand the Domestic Abuse Act 2021. Abuse includes patterns of coercion control that continue after separation. Post-separation abuse may include repeated litigation, financial exhaustion strategies, assets opacity, narrative manipulation, tactile delay. The abuse does not end a decree absolute. Financial asymmetry and court empowerment. Coercion core principles. Courts must not inadvertently empower the party with superior financial access. When one party funds prolonged litigation through business structures, claims limited personal liquidity, avoids transparent forensic valuations, utilizes tax relief mechanisms to offset legal personal costs. The court must apply heightened scrutiny. If financial power becomes litigation leverage, neutrality collapses. Participation impairment. Where a litigant in person presents with documented PTSD, documented anxiety disorder, recorded clinical assessments, evidence of cognitive impairment under stress, then Equality Act duties engage. Equality Act 2021, Section 20 to 21, reasonable adjustments, Section 149, public sector equality duties. If no structured adjustment log exists, effective participation under Article 6 HRA is compromised. Impaired litigant in person. A litigant in person already operates at procedural disadvantage. An impaired litigant in person operates at compounded disadvantage. Without structured questioning protocols or protection, case management, realism, financial transparency enforcement, litigation abuse screening, the process becomes substantively unequal. This is not emotional. This is arithmetic. Power plus representation plus financial liquidity versus impairment, no representation plus psychological stress. The outcome becomes predictable. Duty of legal professionals. Solicitors are officers of the court. Duties include not advancing abusive process, not enabling procedural oppression, maintaining integrity of justice, avoiding enrichment through exploitative prolongation. Professional conduct rules do not vanish because a client can pay. The culture must shift from it is a procedural, available, and is permissible. If the procedure is disproportionate and harm must be scrutinized. Marital Causes Act. Under a Marital Causes Act 1973, financial fairness requires full and frank disclosure, equitable distribution, consideration of needs and resources. If business valuation narratives contradicts litigation spending patterns, the court must interrogate the discrepancy. Financial opacity is not neutrality. The culture. The statute recognizes coercive control. Human rights law recognizes participation rights. Equality law mandates adjustments. Yet court culture often lags behind statute. Where culture fails to operationalize statute, injustice scales. SAFECHAIN intervenes. It implements a ledger, participation integrity ledger, PCV classification, mandatory adjustment metrics, financial asymmetry flag, litigation abuse scoring, immutable audit. Fairness becomes measurable. Courts must not empower persistence simply because it is funded. Justice cannot be sold to the highest stamina bidder. Procedural fairness requires structure, correction. This is SAFECHAIN.